Welcome to the University of Toronto First Aid Society (UTFAS) First General Meeting of the 2020 to 2021 year. What is UTFAS? First, we will talk about who we are and what we do. We are a student group and we provide affordable, discounted first aid training and certification for students because we believe that first aid should be a right, not a privilege. We also organize various first aid awareness campaigns. Our goal is to foster a safer community. Moreover, all of our profits are donated to charity, and these charities benefit underserved populations. They are researched extensively by our Research and Ethics Committee, and at the end of the year, we hold a charity vote where you, our general members, can vote on which charities receive what share of our profits. Here's the impact of our club. From 2019 to 2020, we are able to certify 167 students in standard first aid, emergency first aid, and CPRC. We also donated $9,400 to charity. This money was donated across 6 charities as shown in the infographic. As discussed previously, these charities were first researched by our Research and Ethics Committee, and then at the end of the year, we held a charity vote where you, our general members, voted on these charities. Over the past half decade, we have donated $46,480 to charity, and we've certified thousands of students in life-saving skills. Here's our executive team for this upcoming year. Our Chief Financial Officer is Rosa Summer. Our Chief Administrative Officer is Felice Chun. Our Chief Instructional Officer is Sungmin Lee, who is also our Vice President. Our Chief Communications Officer is Peter Tao, who is also our Club President. Our Chief Officer of Research and Professional Conduct is Alex Xiang. Are you interested in our club? Here's how you can get involved. We have 5 different committees, and you can join as few or as many committees as you want. And the best part is that there is no experience required for any of the committees. We will provide all the training necessary. Perhaps our most popular committee is the Instructional Committee. This is divided into 3 major divisions. The first is our Instructor Development Program, where you can first earn Standard First Aid certification through our club if you do not already have it. You can then participate in teaching workshops, you can shadow courses, and you can even co-teach some of our courses. Once you're sufficiently comfortable with the course material, you can take a Canadian Red Cross Standard First Aid Instructor's course to obtain your instructor certification. If you teach with UTFAS, we do subsidize part of the course fee, and you can actually use the certification to get a job outside of UTFAS as well. The next 2 divisions are the Materials Management and Classroom Configurations Division and the Skills Supervision and Revision Division. These 2 divisions are responsible for helping with course setup, course cleanup, course equipment maintenance, as well as planning and executing first aid workshops. If you have already joined this committee, please check your email for a Microsoft Teams invitation. This committee will be using email, but also Microsoft Teams to spread information. If you are interested in joining the instructional committee, please send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca. Once again, that's firstaid@utoronto.ca. Our next committee is the Communications Committee, which is divided into the Graphic Design Task Force, the Outreach and Networking Task Force, and the Photography and Videography Task Force. The Graphic Design Task Force is responsible for creating posters and infographics. Posters would advertise various events, for example, our meetings and our workshops. First aid infographics would involve creating simple first aid infographics to spread first aid awareness. This task force can also be responsible for video editing if you're interested in that. You can help us create new commercials to advertise our club, or you can help us create first aid instructional videos to spread first aid awareness. If you're a part of the outreach task force, you would help outreach, so that would be spreading the word about our club, whether that's through sharing our social media posts in your social circles, or potentially even asking your course professors to post about our club on your course's Quercus page. You can also do networking, which would be to reach out to other clubs and organizations for partnerships. While we do already have many existing partnerships, we are always looking for more. We also have a photography and videography task force, which is responsible for taking photos and videos at our events. However, please note that during this pandemic, this task force will not see a significant amount of usage. I want to emphasize again that no experience is required for any of our committees. This does include the instructional committee. You don't need any experience at all. For the communications committee, you don't need any experience at all. Training can be provided for absolutely everything. So don't be worried if you have no experience in the matter at all. If you're interested in joining our communications committee, you can follow the Google form link listed on this PowerPoint. Alternatively, you can send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca. This committee will be using Microsoft Teams as well as email, so if you've already joined, check your email for a Microsoft Teams invitation. Our next committee is the Administrative Committee. This committee is responsible for scheduling courses, determining course locations, and developing course attendance sheets for instructors. This committee is vital in keeping UTFAS organized. This is especially important during this pandemic, where organization is key. If you're interested in joining the administrative committee, please send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca and we'll add you to the administrative committee. This committee will be using Microsoft Teams, so if you've already joined, please check your email for a Microsoft Teams invitation. We also have a financial committee, which is broken up into the sponsorship team, major events team, and fundraising team. These teams are self-explanatory. The sponsorship team is responsible for seeking out sponsors. The major events team is responsible for planning major events. And the fundraising team is responsible for planning fundraising events. Please note that these teams do all work in tandem, so they all work together and it's a very collaborative effort. We have a major events team lead, Shruti Misra. We also have a fundraising team lead, Fiona Tse. If you're interested in joining the financial committee, we have a Google form link listed on the slideshow where you can join. Alternatively, you can also send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca if you're interested in joining. As with the other teams, the financial committee will be using Microsoft Teams, so check your email for a Microsoft Teams invitation if you have already joined the financial committee. Our last committee is the Research and Ethics Committee. We've already talked about this committee a little bit already. Essentially, it is responsible for researching charities. As a member of this committee, you can choose some of your favorite charities that you think deserve our money, and throughout the year, you'll work with our Chief Officer of Research and Professional Conduct to research the charity and present various facts about those charities. At the end of the year, each member of the Research and Ethics Committee will present their charities to the rest of the club at the charity vote, where the club can then vote on which charities receive what share of our profits. If you're interested in joining the Research and Ethics Committee, please send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca and we'll add you to the team. As with the other teams, this committee does use Microsoft Teams, so if you've already joined, check your email for a Microsoft Teams invitation. You should also have received an email with a when to meet link, which is also included on the slideshow. Please fill out the when to meet link to determine when would be the best time for a Research and Ethics Committee meeting. If you do not think you are able to commit to a committee, do not worry. You can also sign up for general membership only. As a general member, you'll still receive our general club emails and you'll still receive our exclusive club offers. So that could be priority access to courses and potential course discounts. As a general member, you also do have voting privileges and the ability to run for executive positions. However, if you have time, we do encourage you to join at least one committee. As part of a committee, you can receive committee-specific emails, which also enable you to perform specific tasks for that committee that directly further our club's mission. And we do provide co-curricular record recognition for your contributions, so that's CCR. And we will talk about CCR a little bit later. Moreover, by joining a committee, you have opportunities to network and to boost your resume. So just to summarize committees, I want to emphasize that really you're not obligated to contribute. So if you join a committee and you find that the time commitment is too much, that's not a problem at all. It's all voluntary. But by joining a committee, you'll receive opportunities. We will email you opportunities, and those opportunities you can choose to take them if you want. And those can help you earn CCR recognition, they can help boost your resume, and they can help further our club's mission. So we do recommend that you join at least one committee, and feel free to join as many as you want. If you have not already signed up for our club, we do have a Google form on this slideshow which lets you join UTFAS. On that link, it also includes a Google document with further details about our 5 different committees. On that form, you can choose which committees you would like to join, if any, and you can also select to be a general member only if you so choose. You can also just send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca and I can send you a link to that Google form. So I talked a little bit about it already, but let's talk a little bit more about CCR accreditation. So CCR is co-curricular record. You can access this at ccr.utoronto.ca. CCR is an official university document that tracks your activities. It tracks a variety of things such as your extracurricular involvement, or perhaps your work-study positions, or even if you're an orientation leader, for example, that would also be tracked. It's just an official form that you can reference in the future, or you can present to employers, for instance. So because of this pandemic, our CCR timeline is a little bit delayed. On this slideshow, you'll see there's a September goal setting form. This will be October. We will be sending out the CCR forms as soon as possible in October. So at the start of the year in October, you will list 3 major goals as part of your goal setting form. And throughout the year, you will fill out the year-round tracking chart where you will list all that you've done for our club. For instance, if you've attended our general meeting, you would list that. If you completed a task for a committee, you would list that. If you attended a committee meeting, you would list that. So everything you've done for a club, you would track year round. And in April, you will look at how you achieved your goals, what can you improve, and see if you've met your requirements for validation. It's a pretty simple process. It does not take too much time. And once that's done, we forward this to our validator, who will then provide you with co-curricular record recognition. Please send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca if you have any more questions about CCR. I'm sure many of you may be wondering, what are our plans for the 2020 to 2021 year, especially given this pandemic? We're going to try to answer some of your questions here today. So first, we have some online fundraising initiatives. This will primarily be championed by our fundraising committee. So if you're interested in helping plan any online fundraising initiatives, please do consider joining the fundraising committee. We will provide more details as they become available. Headed by our instructional committee, we're looking to start offering first aid courses again. Of course, safety is our number one priority, so we will be offering courses through a blended curriculum. What this means is that the majority of the course would be completed online through the Canadian Red Cross's online module. This would cover most of the theory for the course, and then one of our instructors will hold a Zoom session to review the material with you. Then there is still a mandatory in-person component where you will need to demonstrate your skills, for example, CPR. We do need to see that you're able to complete CPR. So this would be approximately a 6-hour session in person. For our sessions, we will be completely socially distant. Every participant will be wearing masks and gloves at all times, and we will limit it to no more than 5 participants at a time. We are aiming for a November start date, but this is a very fluid situation and is subject to change at any time. If you're a part of our mailing list and if you're subscribed to our social media channels, you will be the first to know once we have details for blended curriculum courses finalized. And of course, our UTFAS members do have priority access to our courses. We also have plans for various first aid awareness campaigns, and this will primarily be conducted by our communications committee. This involves first aid infographics and first aid instructional videos to post on our social media channels. We do want to make the community a safer place, and even if not everyone can attend a course, we hope that by spreading more first aid awareness, we can help save lives. We are also organizing joint virtual training sessions with the University of Toronto Emergency First Responders. These sessions would be held over Zoom, and we have a variety of instructors walk you through various skills. So what is the University of Toronto Emergency First Responders? They are UTEFR, and we do have a partnership with them. UTEFR provides first aid coverage for events around campus, and they offer free training events. They do not offer first aid certification courses, but they do offer training to refresh your skills and knowledge, and we will be holding joint training sessions with them as discussed previously. If you're interested in joining UTEFR, I encourage you to go to their website, which is utefr.ca. Next, we're going to walk through a quick scenario. It is a hot summer day and you're at the park playing pickup basketball. You have been playing for some time, so you sub off and you take a seat on the bench. You see a man you've been playing with, and he's sitting under a nearby tree. Upon examination, he looks very pale and weak. He's breathing very rapidly, and there's an empty water bottle by his side. What do you think is going on, and what can you do to help? I'd like to ask that you pause this video for as long as you need to review the situation and think about what you would do in this scenario. So please pause and we'll pick up soon. Thank you for reviewing the scenario. Let's walk through it. So we know that this man has been playing sports with us, so we're already suspecting that he may have overexerted himself. It's also a hot summer day, and he looks pale, weak, he's breathing rapidly, and he has no more water. So from this scenario, it seems that he has a heat-related illness, most likely heat exhaustion or heat stroke. It appears to be just heat exhaustion. He doesn't seem to have progressed too far into heat stroke yet. So we want to make sure he doesn't go into heat stroke. We want to make sure his condition improves rather than deteriorates. So we're going to cool him down as fast as possible and give him fluids. So he's already under a tree, which is very good, but we're going to look around, see if there's a building with air conditioning we can safely transport him to, which would be even better. If there's any water nearby, we're going to give it to him. We want to cool him down as fast as possible, really, and we want to monitor him. If he vomits, if he loses responsiveness, if he seems confused, we are going to want to call EMS 911 as soon as possible. Essentially, if his condition deteriorates, we are going to call EMS 911. Otherwise, we're just going to try to stabilize him and try to improve his condition. Please send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca if you have any questions about this scenario at all. Here's our contact information. Our email is firstaid@utoronto.ca. Our Facebook is facebook.com/UTFAS. Our Instagram handle is @UTFAS. Our Reddit is user/UTFAS. And our Twitter handle is @UTFAS Toronto. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please send us an email at firstaid@utoronto.ca.